Hello, good morning everyone. So today we will be seeing another topic in the hydraulic systems, right? So that is today's topic is pneumatic systems. So we have seen so far about the hydraulic systems and the development of hydraulic systems in the aircraft systems and how it is easy or the application of hydraulic systems in the different components in the aircraft, right? So today we will be talking about the pneumatics, right? So pneumatic meaning the air, right? The air is the supply, or the air is the source or the medium for the application in the aircraft systems, right? So whereas in the hydraulic system we have said that the hydraulic fluid, and there are different types of hydraulic fluids we have discussed: vegetable fluid, or mineral based fluid, or synthetic fluids, right? Every fluid has its own advantage and disadvantage, and along with that, what are the requirements of a hydraulic fluid, and how hydraulic systems are used in the aircraft system, and how they are beneficial, or how they have made easier the power or the actuation mode, right? So today we will be talking about the pneumatics, right? Now pneumatics is also again a beneficial, right? Rather than using mechanical devices or mechanical systems into the aircraft, it is easy for the power transmission, and also a large number of force is being converted, right? So therefore, as hydraulics, pneumatics is also a very good advancement and very good beneficial in terms of avionics, right? So this particular pneumatic system will uses the compressed air, right? The compressed air is being used as the medium or the source, right? So the evolution of turbojet engines has led to the use of this particular pneumatic power or pneumatic systems, right? Especially into the transport or civil aircraft, we see, because it's the main mode of utilizing this particular pneumatics is its ease availability, right? All that need to be done is take the compressed air, right? So this compressed air is coming from the high pressure air from the modern engines, right? So which is the key for the pneumatic application, right? So that is, you're transferring the energy or you're providing the power on the aircraft, right? So therefore, the turbojet engine is a gas generator, right? It is also called as a gas generator, where you are giving the enough thrust so that aircraft can have a can provide enough power to it, right? So the compressed air for pneumatic system is supplied from engine bleed air, right? So the engine bleed air means you are taking from the compression stages. Then there is a auxiliary power unit, right? So the this air auxiliary power unit is mostly the backup or the secondary power sources, right? So this is suitable. This is regulated for a particular pressure, particular temperature, because it is a compressed air or a bleed air that you are taking. So you are regulating it for pressures and temperatures, right? So as part of this cycle, the air is compressed into two or three compressor sections, right? So you need to compress them into two or three sections before you are doing the atomization process or the injection process, right? Or in order for the combustion to happen, it need to be compressed, and the compression is happening in either two or three different sections, right? So that result of it, right? So therefore what all we have is, you take the bleed air, you compress it in two or three different sections, then you are combusting is where you have fuel and air mixture, right? Then you have gases that are expanding, right? So then there is an expansion that is taking place. So these are different sections where engine is following, okay? So the resulting these expanding gases are once the fuel and air is been mixed, and you have that atomization taking place, right? The mixture of fuel and air that has been taking place, this combustion will result in the expansion of the hot gases at higher pressure and higher temperature, right? And provides the shaft power to drive your low pressure fans and compressor sections, okay? So when your engine is reaching that required amount of self-sustaining speeds, the turbine is producing enough power so that you have this particular requirements, and also engine achieves a good stable condition, right? Now when we talk about the availability, now whatever the availability of that high pressure high temperature is formed in the expansion stage, right? It is going to lend itself readily to provide the pneumatic power, right? The result or the power that you are gaining in all these different sections, that itself is being lent in order to have the pneumatic power, right? So that itself is being carried as a pneumatic power for different actuation purposes, such as in terms of air conditioning. If air conditioning need to be happened, right? So there I need compressed air. So this compressed air is coming from this particular modern turbine engines, where you are compressing, you are combustioning, right, where you have fuel and air mixture ratio. Then the result of it is been happening in the expansion stage, right? So all these are being utilized in the various forms in the aircraft by means of pneumatic power supply, right? So as such, for heating also, heating functions also we are utilizing it, right? So all these are nothing but the pneumatic power or pneumatic supply, right? So this bleed air is extracted from the compressor, and you are cooling it because it's expanding at a high pressure high temperature. You are cooling it after cooling, and you are regulating it also. After regulation, you are going to use that for different functions, right? Now in the engine, this high pressure blade is used as a muscle power, we say, right? So it's a muscle power for many valves associated with it, and also for the bleed air extraction, right? And then you have the medium pressure bleed air also, right? You have higher pressure bleed air where it is used as a muscle power. Then you have a medium pressure regulated bleed air, which is used to start the engine itself, right? In order to start the engine, I need some power, right? Some source is required. That some source is been coming from these medium pressure regulated bleed air, right? So that is using from the ground power units, which is APU, right? So from where I don't have this particular engines on, right? So here you need to use this particular power, or for the cross plate from another engine on the aircraft which is already running. Okay. So then the pneumatic power for heating, the provision of motive power as a source of air for cabin conditioning and pressurization systems. Then the different application, right? The applications of pneumatic systems are, the pneumatic system supplies very high pressure air, right? So this high pressure air is used in the aircraft either for conditioning, right? You can use it for air conditioning, or you can start the engine as we have said in the ground power units, right? Or the ice that has been formed on the wings, right? That need to be removed. So in order to remove the ice that is formed on the wing or nacelle, so you need anti-icing system. These anti-icing systems are nothing but your pneumatic power, right? And also the water pressurization and the hydraulic reservoir, right? You need to have that push, right? That push is coming from the pressurization. That pressurization to the reservoir of hydraulic systems are again coming from the pneumatic power supply, right? So these are different applications where broadly the classification or the applications have been shown here. So the bleed air application for anti-icing, for environmental control systems and coolings, and for pressurization it has been used. For the engine start also it has been used. For the APUs, auxiliary power units, right? So these are the different applications of it. Now the high pressure air with the major aircraft systems, if we see, so one is for ice protection. Now if we see the ice protection, you need to remove the ice that is there on the wings or the tails or the nacelles or the leading edges, right? So all this need to be removed. It need to be kept clear of, right? In order to be kept clear of, you want that hot air supply so that you can remove it. Now this provision of hot air is coming from your high pressured pneumatic power, right? Then again the environmental control and cooling system, right? So the provision of the main air source for the main application of the pneumatic power is the environmental controlling systems and the cooling systems. Then the pressurization meaning the cabin pressurization, right? So you want the cabin or the crew and the passengers need to be in a comfortable operating environment, which is pressurization, right? So this provision for cabin pressurization is again the pneumatic power supply, right? Now Again, these are all the different applications we say, right? So some of the bleed air is again, still there is a bleed air that has been tapped in the engine itself, right? Used to pressurize the cabin and provide the source for cabin conditioning, right? So this proportion of bleed air is fed into conditioning packs, which cools the air, and also it is going to dump whatever the excess heat that is there. The excess heat is being removed out of it. The cold air is mixed with the warm air by the cabin temperature, such that you keep crew and cabin and passengers in a comfortable environment, right? So this bleed air is also used to provide the main wing anti-icing protection, right? In again some of the aircrafts you also have air driven pumps, ADPs. We have engine driven pumps. We have EDPs, which are engine driven pumps. Along with EDPs, we do have something called air driven pumps, which takes air as a supply. That means the pneumatic power as a supply. Okay. Now the characteristics of the modern turbine engine, if we see, now the modern turbine engine consists of the low pressure fan, right? So low pressure fan, the section, the compressor section. In the compression section, you are compressing it for one or two different sections. Then there is a combustion, there is a high pressure turbine, there is a low pressure turbine, and then there is a exhaust. These are the different sections of a turbine engine. Now this particular chart represents the pressure and temperature readings, right? In different conditions. The different conditions are when it is in idle, right? When the engine is in idle, what are the different pressure and temperatures following in the each section. Similarly, during takeoff and during the cruise section, right? Now, if we see in the low pressure fan, your idle. The idle that is to be maintained is the pressure is 14.7 to pounds per square inch to 15 degrees centigrade, right? So during takeoff also it is same, and during cruise it is a little different. Okay, so in the compressor section we have different ratios, and in the exhaust section we have different ratios, right? So in the exhaust, the idle is going to be 14.8 to 340 degrees centigrade. In the takeoff we see it is 23 pounds per square inch to 510 degrees centigrade. And what happens in the cruises? In the cruise you have a low decrement, right, which is 6.8 pressure levels to 340 temperature readings, right? Now, in the combustion and from the compressor to combustion, there is a slight variation we see, right? Now, the use of these particular engines as the high pressure or high temperature, you can understand only by examining this particular characteristics. Okay, so when you can understand how individual pressure levels and temperature levels are varying with respect to different sections, also with respect to different conditions, only then you can use this particular high pressure, high temperature air. Right. So this modern engines, which is called bypass is a terminology, right? A word, new word. So this bypass is the ratio of bypass air to the engine core air is called as the bypass ratio, and mostly the bypass ratio that need to be maintained for the civil aircraft are either 4 or 5:1, right? Now this particular modern engine bypass have a significance, right? The significance of the mass flow that is passed from the engine and is increasing to a small proportion of the mass to the engine. Now, these characteristics, as we have discussed, the characteristics of the engine can be, checked in detail, looking at the different sections according to the different conditions. Then we talk about the auxiliary power units. Now, the auxiliary power units is again also a different source, right? A source of high pressure bleed air, same as what we have discussed in the engines, right? So the APU itself is a small turbojet engine. We can say as such, APU can be called as a small jet engine, right? Designed more in terms of providing thrust to it, right? So the small engine, you can provide thrust using APU. In terms of main engines, right? So this APU is primarily designed so that it can provide you that electrical and pneumatic power, right? So this pneumatic or electrical power, APUs are used as secondary or the backup sources when your engines have gone something wrong. When engine driven pumps have been failed, then APUs are coming to pictures. We have seen this, right? So similarly, they are also used in terms of pneumatic power by shaft driven generator and compressor. Then this APU is to provide an independent source of electrical power and compressed air while the aircraft is still on the ground, right? So this is about the different characteristics, right? So the different characteristics meaning, see, now when you look into this particular characteristics of the modern turbine engine, uh, as we have said, the development of the aircraft technology has become so much so far that you have started using the mechanical systems, or then there is a push pull rod systems, or there are a cable and pulley systems. From there we have advanced because we have designed aircrafts with high speed, right? High speed aircrafts going to a high altitudes require high power, right? So high power for the actuation is also important, right? Now when you say it is important, you need that particular high, medium or high source of power, right? Now this high source of power is coming from the hydraulics, right? So hydraulics are giving you that enough power so that there is an actuation in terms of deflecting the control surfaces, primary or secondary, or in terms of your landing gear, right? So fixed and retractable landing gear, or braking systems, or steering systems, nose wheel steering. So all these are the different applications where high power is required, right? Now when you want high power, we definitely want a high source, right? A strong, medium, or a strong source. The strong source is coming from the hydraulic application. Along with the hydraulic systems, we do have pneumatic systems. Pneumatic system meaning the bleed air. You are extracting the bleed air, or you are extracting the compressed air, and this compressed air in terms of either high pressure or the medium pressure is being used, and it has been used in different applications, right? So different applications, we can call it as for wing and tail and nozzle, also at the trailing and the leading edges. Okay, so this is one way of utilizing the pneumatic power. Also, the pneumatic power is being used for environmental control systems, right? Again, this is also used for your what do you call cabin pressurization. Okay, then there is also cooling systems for cooling of it. Also, you take the hot air, you mix with the cool air, and you are utilizing this for by using pneumatic power, and also for the start of the engine. Okay. Now, before you have this application of pneumatic system, let us just see the characteristics of it. Once you understand how the different sections are having different pressure and temperature ratios at different conditions, only then according to the bypass ratio you are able to signify what is the amount of the high pressure or the medium pressure or the low pressure that is being following, right? So as if we see here, in ideal cases it is different. Ideal cases, the pressure levels are different, the temperature levels are different, and similarly if you see at the compressor section also, they are different, right? So they don't follow each other along, right? So this is how the pneumatic power application is being utilized. All right. Thank you. So we will stop at this point of this lecture of pneumatic systems. Then we are going to continue another lecture, right?
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.